morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to another episode of the Triple Threat Podcast. We are now into our post-episode 10 era. You've gotten to know us a little bit better, and I think you're going to get to know us a lot better going forward, because the personality is going to start going a little wild. However, for this episode, I'd like to start off with a few choice words for my buddy Miggy. Because if you don't know, which you should know, we usually record on Tuesday evenings, but today is a Monday.
I gotta work out of town tomorrow, okay?
Look, man, we had a day. Now it's a different day. And I'm upset about it because I have to write my notes
I gave
early.
you a week notice.
And I can still be upset about it. I see the look in your eyes, Jay. I see the look in your eyes. You're on my side of this. Anyways, NBA this past week. Scores that I want to go through. Washington, Miami this past Tuesday. I bring this up because that was Bam Adebayo's 83-point game. I know I kind of mentioned it last episode, but I do want to bring it up again. He had 83 points. The big controversial part of this whole scoring fiesta was that he had 43 free-throw attempts and made 36 of them. There's been a whole thing in the NBA about ethnic hoops. Sorry, not ethnic, ethical hoops. And fans are not happy about the 43 free throws, especially since going into the last quarter of that game, apparently Miami was intentionally fouling the Wizards so they could stop the clock, and then it just blew out of proportion. But regardless, 83 points from Bam. Past Tuesday, Spurs versus Boston, top of the top contest. Spurs come out with the win, 125-116. Wembanyama, 39 points, 11 rebounds, and a career-high 8 three-pointers. Big night for him. Derek White, 34 points. Jason Tatum, 24 points. Jaylen Brown was ejected before halftime because he got in the referee's faces about a non-call and had to be physically restrained.
What, he forgot it was an NBA game and not an MMA game?
I think he took inspiration from NHL. I think he was just ready to just throw some punches. I still want that ice boxing thing.
Should they do like a segment where like NBAs, they're like, all right, here's some gloves and just...
If you guys are frustrated, have at her. This past Wednesday, Houston versus Denver. It was supposed to be a big game. They're neck and neck in the standings. It was a bit of a blowout. Denver, 129 points to Houston's 93. If my math is correct, that is a 36-point victory. Same amount of free throws that Bam Adebayo made on his 83-point night. Funny how numbers, connect in that way. Denver had 76 second-half points. Houston shot a horrendous 43% from the field, 12% from three, and 36% from the free-throw line.
I think I can even do better than that.
Miggy, I've seen you shoot on the mini hoop that I've got in my room, and yes, I believe you. I would put money on the line for you to shoot better than the Houston Rockets did this past Wednesday.
If I had ever heard a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
My backhand's right here. And, I can speak right through it. The thing that gets me is the 36% from the free-throw line. These are professional NBA players. It is called a free throw. These are free points that you're supposed to get.
They were channeling their inner Shaq.
I think Shaq shot better. I think Shaq shot 40. Denver, on the other side of this contest, shot 55% from the field, 53% from three, and 73% from the free throw line. Denver shot better from beyond the arc than Houston did at the charity stripe. No wonder they lost by 36 points. Jamal Murray had 30 points. Jokic, a triple-double with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. Also on Wednesday, we had Minnesota versus the Clippers. Originally, I thought this was just going to kind of be a regular Western Conference, middleweight bout between two teams fighting for playoff position, but it turned into a bit of a scoring fiesta. Clippers, 153 points to Minnesota's 128. Anthony Edwards, 36 points. Kawhi Leonard, 45 points on 15 of 20 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, and 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Houston should have taken notes from Kawhi Leonard. Benedict Mathurin, 22 points. Garland, one of the Clippers' acquisitions at the trade deadline, who was injured coming into the trade, but is now playing again. He had 21 points, 5 3-pointers. Past Thursday, Denver versus the Spurs. Another top of the West bout. But this one, a lot closer. 136 to 131 for Denver. Denver was down 12 points going into the fourth quarter. They brought it back to win by 5. Jokic, a triple-double with 31 points, 20 rebounds, and 12 assists. It is not often that you see a 2020 game and a 30-point triple-double by the same guy in the same game. Jamal Murray had 39 points. Castle for the Spurs also had a triple-double with 30 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. De'Aaron Fox had 29 points and 9 assists. Big thing, though, for San Antonio this night, no Wembanyama. So they were shorthanded, but 5-point game is not bad. Boston versus OKC. Second in the East, first in the West. Very close game. 104-102 final with an OKC victory. This game came down to the wire. Chet Holmgren made the game-winning free throws with 0.9 seconds left. So quite literally a last-second win. Jaylen Brown had 34 points. SGA had 35 points, and he also set the new league record for most consecutive 20-point games at 127 consecutive. This past Friday, Phoenix versus Toronto. I initially didn't think too highly of this game. This was sort of 5th place in the East versus sort of 7th place in the West, but it was a very close game and a very entertaining game, especially for me as a Raptors fan. Toronto had 36 fourth quarter points to eke out the victory. The largest lead in this game for any team was only 11 points. So it was close the whole time. You know, I guess the NHL equivalent would be it was a 1-goal game the entire way through. Green for Phoenix had 34 points. Booker had 31. And for the Raptors, Brandon Ingram had 36 points. So a few high-scoring individuals. This past Saturday, Denver versus the Lakers. This game was very important since they are quite literally next to each other in the standings in the Western Conference. This game went to overtime. The LA Lakers won 127 to 125. With about 2 seconds left in the fourth quarter, the Lakers were actually down by 2 points. They were down by 3. And Austin Reeves went to the free throw line. He hit the first to make it a 2-point game, intentionally missed the second one, and got his own rebound, and made a 2-point basket to tie, to send it into overtime. In overtime, Luka Doncic with 0.5 seconds left, made a 2-point basket for the win. Jokic, another triple-double. 24 points, 16 rebounds, 14 assists. He is putting up numbers. On the other end, though, however, Jamal Murray, also for Denver, 5 points, shot 1 for 14. That is not acceptable as your team's second scoring option, and he was an all-star this year. So very tough game from Jamal Murray. Austin Reeves, 32 points. Luka Doncic, 30 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists. Another game of battling triple-doubles. Also this past Saturday, we had a little bit of an upset. The West's worst, Sacramento Kings, ranked 15th of 15 in the West, beat the Los Angeles Clippers 118 to 109. DeMar DeRozan had 27 points, Precious Achiuwa had 25 points and 13 rebounds, and Russell Westbrook reminding us of what he used to be. 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. Triple-double for the triple-double king. Kawhi Leonard did have 31 points, though he left with an ankle sprain about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, so we'll have to check up on that. Benedict Mathurin, 24 points. Garland with 25 points. So even despite the loss, the Clippers are getting some good value out of their trade deadline acquisitions. This past Sunday had a few very, very big games. Or I wouldn't say big games, but big games for us, interesting games for us. Minnesota versus OKC. Unfortunately for Miggy, OKC did win that game 116 to 103. This marks the 8th straight victory for OKC. Julius Randle had 32 points. Anthony Edwards only with 19, which is quite below what we usually expect of him. On OKC's side, Chet Holmgren had 21 points, 9 rebounds. SGA 20 points, 10 assists, another 20-point game to increase that record that I spoke of earlier. And funny little stat line. Isaiah Hartenstein for the OKC Thunder. He had 0 points, but 12 rebounds. Very much reminds me of some games Draymond Green used to have, where he'd have like 4 points, but he'd have 15 rebounds, 12 assists, and like 7 steals. So, just a funny little stat line for you guys to think about. We did have an upset this past Sunday. Dallas versus Cleveland. Dallas won that game 130 to 120. Cooper Flagg with 27 points, 10 assists. PJ Washington, 20 points, 11 rebounds. Cooper Flagg isn't known as a passer, but getting 10 assists is pretty good. Pretty good. Evan Mobley for Cleveland had 18 points, 11 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell had 26 points and 11 assists. Also not much of a passer, but hey, 11 assists is really good. That was about it for that game. Cleveland definitely should have won that, but Dallas, I guess, has found a bit of stride, bit of comfortability in the last couple weeks.
Bit of a groove even. So we'll have to see how they end the year and go into next season. And the last score from this past week that I want to mention, very happy about this one. Detroit versus Toronto. Toronto beating the top team in the East 119 to 108. I actually watched that game, and the first half was pretty tight. It was the second half that Toronto opened it up, and then Denver brought it back, and then Toronto opened it up.
You mean Detroit?
Yeah, Detroit. I don't know why I said Denver.
I mean, I do keep mentioning Denver and Jokic. Yeah, no, it was tight first quarter. Detroit kind of pulled away in the third, and Toronto found a way. Jalen Duren for the Pistons had 20 points, 11 assists. Cade Cunningham, 33 points and 9 assists. Sorry, Jalen Duren had 11 rebounds. I wrote my notes wrong. That's upsetting. Brandon Ingram for the Raptors had 34 points. Jakob Poeltl had 21 points, 18 rebounds. And listen to the stat line from Scotty Barnes. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, a steal, 3 blocks. Do-it-all kind of guy. And my Defensive Player of the Year candidate. But we'll get into that a little bit later. For now, I will give the mic off to Miggy for his scores from this past week.
All right, so we had a couple of upsets this week that I will talk about later.
Oh, I am excited for those. You've been telling me about them the past few days.
When you say left field, there's left field and then there's west field. So
we passed the stands at this point.
Montreal versus Ottawa. Ottawa needed that win to try to get into that wild card space, and Montreal needed the win to stay in the top 3 of the Atlantic Division, because as I keep saying, the Atlantic Division is the toughest division so far this year. Montreal would bring that home 3-2 with a not controversial, but a lot of people are asking the league to maybe simplify the goaltender interference.
Yeah.
Because now it's kind of like up to the refs what is and what isn't, and it's not constant.
Maybe you've known me long enough. I hate things that should be objective that start turning subjective.
Yep. Now, Dallas and Edmonton. I told you. Dallas needs to keep winning to stay number 2, because they're going to have Minnesota right behind them, and they're getting closer and closer to Avalanche. 7-2 Dallas.
Jason Robinson with 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. Jamie Benn with 2 goals. Heiskanen with 3 goals. Wyatt Johnston with 3 points. They left McDavid with no points. Jari seemed to be the answer when they traded him a while back, and he hasn't been. The coach has declared, though, that Connor Ingram was going to be their starter from now on until either it's proven different or he can't handle the workload. Carolina versus Tampa Bay, top of the Eastern. And very interesting kind of matchup because one's top of the Metro, one's second in the Atlantic. Carolina will bring that 4-2, which would make it easier for Montreal to maybe claim that second spot in the Atlantic. Anaheim versus Montreal, a battle of the rookie. I made you a little joke that none of the rookies were part of the goals.
Yeah.
When
didn't quite show up.
we were setting up. Scary Terry, Troy Terry with 3 points, would help lead his team to a 4-3 win over Montreal. Now, luckily for Montreal, everybody under them lost as well. So that doesn't put their spot in jeopardy, but if they keep losing, eventually it will.
So rough night for the Atlantic Division? Just for the East in general?
Just for whoever's under Montreal as well, I guess. Utah and Dallas, which is today. It ended a couple of minutes before we started this podcast. Utah is in a wild card spot right now, trying to keep its place. Dallas, as I said earlier, is trying to keep that number 2 spot from Minnesota taking over. Utah with a staggering 6-3 win against the Stars.
Lopsided victories this past week.
Yeah, indeed. So, if I remember correctly, we had a lot of 2-point games, but their captain, Keller, with only 1 goal, but 3 shots in 20 minutes. So, he played more on the defensive style, like he usually does, but it was mostly their defensemen that helped out with scoring. Or minutes, block shots, they had it all. But their blue line is solid. You have Ian Cole, you got Dursey, Uyghur, Marino, Schmidt, Sergachev. It is stacked. Like, they have a top-tier blue liner, sorry. Now...
When building a strong house, you need a strong foundation.
Yeah.
So.
Now, today does mark also Malkin's return from his suspension from the axe chopping that he gave Rasmus Dahlin. If you guys have not seen it, I would tell you to go watch it. Not due to the fact that I find that it was necessary. It was not. That there's no place for that in sports, no matter how angry you are. But right now, that game is in second intermission, and with Malkin back, they're winning 6-2 against Avalanche, with Malkin with 3 points.
I have definitely seen some guys come back hot from suspensions and really play well, but he's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and now talking about suspensions again.
Oh boy,
Radko Gudas. Now we'll get into it a little later. He is facing a 5-game ban for that knee-on-knee action hit that he gave Matthews. And we'll go a little bit more into this later on because it was a pretty gnarly hit. The league right now, as usual, any Atlantic versus Atlantic game in the future is important due to how tight that game is or how tight that division is. As well as it's starting to be where any Pacific game that is top 3 is starting to be very important because those three teams have been crisscrossing for the last 2 weeks. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Now, with that being said, not a lot of games left in the season, so every game matters. There is, on average, 16 games left per team. So they are on the final stretch. Every win is valuable. So the teams
Every point is valuable at this
rate. So the teams that started off hot have a little bit more of an advantage, like Avalanche. And the teams that were a little colder and now are hot might start feeling the pressure of the last couple of games and being like, oh, we need points. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if it's OT or a win. Now, ideally, you want to win, but we just need points. Now, with the WBC coming to a close soon, you want to cover that real quick?
Right away. So, WBC, when we left it off, they were closing up the group stage.
Yep.
So, the 8 teams that made it through were the Republic of Korea, Dominican Republic, USA, Canada, Puerto Rico, and Italy, and Venezuela, Japan. Now, coincidentally, the order in which I said those country names was actually the quarterfinal matchups. So, Republic of Korea, Dominican Republic. Dominican won that 10-0. That was a stomp of stomps, but I don't think anybody really expected anything else or anything different. It was pretty cut and dry who was supposed to win that. USA, Canada. Canada was already a bit of a surprise to make it to the quarters, and they put up a good fight against the States. Final score was 5-3. States did end up winning that. Puerto Rico, Italy. Italy continues to, I guess, surprise some of the more casual fans. They continue to surprise me. I'm not as into baseball as I'd like to be, but Italy beats Puerto Rico 8-6 to continue their unlikely. I don't even know if you can call it a Cinderella story, but they went 4-0 in groups, beating the USA, and they won their quarterfinal matchup. So they are looking good. Venezuela versus Japan.
No, that was the kind of upset you were talking about.
So that Venezuela's good. They showed it in the group stage, but Japan was expected to be in the finals, guaranteed.
Yep.
Venezuela wins that game 8-5. So that was probably the upset of the WBC so far. Semi-final matchup, USA, Dominican Republic. I was hoping for Vladdy, the Dominican Republic, to just win it, clean game.
But they set a record for most home runs. That they ever scored. They scored 15 home runs during the WBC.
That team is stacked, so that's not too surprising. USA, Dominican Republic. Close game. Final score is 2-1. The game ended on a very, very bad call from the home plate umpire. I think that ball was almost a foot below the strike zone. Called it a strike. And I was also hearing that apparently the entire game was just called very inconsistently. So it's not a great look for the WBC umpires. It's a great look for the ABS system, though.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
So we'll have to see going forward. And of course, you can spiral down into, replacing umpires entirely with ABS and just having sort of the ABS instant call everything. But I don't think most people would like that. But
I wouldn't. I like the...
You like the human aspect of the sport.
Right? I don't like
after all.
Yeah, we're humans. We make mistakes.
Yeah, right? Like it brings flavor, but some of the calls are just...
If it's this consistently bad.
Yeah, if it's this consistently bad, unfortunately, we're going in that direction. Other semifinal actually just finished up tonight. Venezuela versus Italy. Venezuela takes the victory, 4-2. So that ends Italy's unlikely run.
So are you telling me the final is U.S. versus Venezuela?
The final is the U.S. versus Venezuela. That game will be played tomorrow. So right away here. But that is the WBC as of right now. Go Venezuela.
Yeah. And talking about your ABS challenges, I've been watching a couple of summer league, spring league, whatever you want to call it. My grandfather calls it the Grapefruit League.
Grapefruit League.
It doesn't seem to be affecting the game time-wise and quality-wise. Because it doesn't take more than 30 seconds.
If that.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these calls are overturned or confirmed within like 15.
Yeah. So some people don't like him. Some people like him. It was like the pitch clock. Some people liked him. Some didn't. Now it's part of the game. Everybody's okay with it. We'll have to see how it goes. Now, the lineups are solidifying. Managers are knowing who they're going to keep, who they're not going to keep. Kind of where they're going to put the guys in the lineup. Their pitching rotation. Their relievers rotation. It's kind of all coming to a close, and they'll know within the next couple of weeks it'll be more of a MLB season lineup.
Yeah.
Especially with everybody back from the WBC.
Mm-hmm. Opening day is quite soon, so.
March 27th. So it is quite soon. Now, I do have the PWHL.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of skipped over that, which is kind of funny, but whatever. Seattle versus Minnesota. The Frost won that. Frost, again, top three is a tight boat. They need every point they need for seeding to get the easier opponent. Boston versus Montreal. I did watch this game. Poulin got hurt. She didn't come back to the ice. They do think it's minor, but we'll have to keep an update. Montreal came into the third with a 3-0 lead. With 15 seconds left, Boston tied it up 3-3. And it was 3-0 till 10 minutes in the third.
Was that the game where they scored 3 goals in like 3.5 minutes?
No, that was... They scored 3 in like 10.
10? Okay.
They scored the first one like 10, 15, then the other one was like 5, and then they scored to tie it up at 15.4 seconds left. And then Boston would go on to win it in overtime. So Montreal blew a 3-0 lead with 10 minutes left in the third. Which means they lost valuable points in that top 3 race. So it's to be seen. Boston and Seattle did do a trade. I think this is just a change of scenery for both players. Boston gets Jesse Eldridge, which is a forward, and Seattle gets Theresa Schaefsal, which again is another forward. So like I said, like you said multiple times, I think it's just a player for a player, change of scenery, see if it'll kickstart their kind of season and see how it goes. Other than that, I don't have much for PWHL. Now, NFL. I do have a little bit on the NFL. I have contract breakdown and performances of previous seasons. And then you can put your opinion if you think they deserve what they got. I know me and you are not experts on the NFL. Eventually, we're hoping to get where we understand a lot of what the analyst says and everything. But so here is what I got so far. So J.K. Dobbins, the running back from the Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
In 2024, he was with the Lakers. In 195...
The Lakers?
Not the Lakers. Ugh. The LA Chargers.
There we go.
It's the same abbreviation. And 195 attempts, he went for 905 yards and 9 TDs. So he averaged at 4.6 yards per attempt.
And how many TDs did you say?
9.
9 TDs and 195 carries.
Yeah. In 2025, he was with Denver. So that's when he got traded to the... either signed or traded to the Broncos.
Yeah.
with 153 attempts. He went 772 yards, which a lot of people are thinking is an off year, but his average actually went up 0.4 yards. But he only had 4 TDs, which could mean that Denver may be more of a throwing touchdown kind of team.
Yeah, well, the thing about TDs, right, is you only score this at the end of a drive.
Yeah.
Right,
But in 2023, he had an Achilles injury in game 1, which made him miss the entire season.
Yeah.
So for him to come back from an Achilles and still be putting up these numbers is still pretty good. He got 2 years, 16 mil. So 8 average.
I mean, he's shown the ability to improve.
Yeah.
Right. Immediately, sort of like the next year. So I mean, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
And quality running backs are hard to find nowadays. So.
Now this one I'm kind of stumped on.
Okay.
Nakobe Dean he was with Philly, if I'm not mistaken. Now he signed with the Raiders. He's a linebacker. 3 years, 36.03 mil.
So 12 average.
12.010, whatever, yeah. In 2024 with Philly, he went for 80 combined tackles, 40 assisted tackles, 3 sacks, 1 interception. Those are good numbers. In 2025 with Philly, he went for 30 combined tackles, 25 assisted tackles, and 4 sacks.
So half the tackles.
More than half the combined tackles. Just about half in the assisted tackles, but 1 sack more.
Yeah.
So maybe they're hoping the Raiders are giving him a pay and hoping that he goes back to maybe his 2024 status?
I don't know. Like, there's a reason they call it a contract year.
Yeah.
Right? Is players know it's their last year, they need to show out so they can get that pay.
Yeah.
But for a player to decrease that drastically in statistical performance and a team being willing to I think I'm just about as stumped as you are on this.
Now another one, Bradley Chubb from the Bills. He got signed with the Bills. He was with Miami the last 3 seasons. Now he's getting paid $43.5 million for 3 years.
Yeah.
In 2023, he was with Miami, 45 combined tackles, 26 assisted tackles, and 11 sacks. For edge defender,
that's not bad.
that's solid. He missed 2024 due to a torn ACL that was sustained in week 17 of his 2023 season. So in 2025, comeback year, 24 combined tackles, 23 assisted tackles, 8.5 sacks. Now on paper, that is a down year, but coming back from a torn ACL.
Coming back from a torn ACL, it's the 8 sacks that kind of jump out at me because he went from 11 to 8, which isn't that much of a drop when you consider the injury that he came back from. So
even the assisted tackles, he went from 28 to 23. So it's to see. I think this year he might have a big year.
I could definitely see it.
Now, Trey Hendrickson, and I told you, when he comes back to the Bengals, it will not be a heartfelt welcome back because the Ravens and the Bengals are big-time divisional rivals. He got signed 4 years, $112 million. So he's getting money. Now, in 2023, 28 combined assists, 15 assisted, 28 combined tackles, 15 assist tackles, and 17.5 sacks. 2024, 33 combined tackles, 13 assisted tackle, and 17.5 sacks. In 2025, 11 combined tackles, 5 assisted tackles, and 4 sacks in 7 games. He only played 7 due to a hip injury that required treatment.
I mean, like per game numbers, those aren't bad.
Yeah.
Was it four sacks in 7 games? Was it 11
Combined tackles
11
and
combined
5
tackles?
assisted tackles.
It's
Now,
not bad, although I'm not sure if it's 112 over 4 years.
we'll have to see. Maybe he fits perfect in the Ravens and they fine, but we'll have to see. Now, this one I don't have big numbers. $12 million, 1 year. Travis Kelce, he's back for another year. He'll be part of a big Chiefs offense.
Yeah.
Now, only 1 year, so will it be his last year?
Could be a farewell tour.
Yeah. Tua. Me and you were talking about him. He signed a 1 year, 1.215 average, so that's all he's getting,
Very cheap.
to the Falcons. Do you remember how much I told you he went from his last contract to this contract?
I do not remember the number off the top of my head, no.
He went from a annual average venue of $53.1 million to 1.215. Now, if you look at it, he had 2 years in that contract. His first 2 years of that 4-year contract, he had a plus 3,500 yard season and a plus 45,000 yard season.
4,500.
4,500, sorry, season. So
Big
he was
number.
worse.
Oh, yeah.
But his last 2 year of the contract, he had a 2,600 plus 100 yard season and a 2,800 plus yard season.
I mean, it's not bad, but is it drop your salary to 2%, 2 or 3% of what you were making
Yeah,
initially?
so we'll have to
bad?
see if that 1 year will re-kickstart his career or maybe it'll be his last year. I don't know. I'm just making speculation.
Yeah.
Jalen Phillips, edge defender. He's a big one. 4 years, 120 mil. So again, big money.
Oh, yeah.
Played only 4 games in the 2024 season, recovering of a lingering Achilles injury and a partially torn ACL after Game 4.
Oh, yeah. No, that's... Yep.
You would know how one of those feel.
Mm-hmm.
In 2025, though, he played a full season, splitting between Miami and then got traded to Philly. Combined with the two teams, he did a 29 combined tackles, 24 assisted tackles, and 5 sacks. For a guy coming back of that injury, I am not... what's the word? I'm not surprised that it's lower, but I am impressed at how high he's still tackling.
Yeah, the tackle numbers are pretty high for an edge defender there. The sacks will come with time, especially if he's still recovering from that series of an injury.
Now, the big name. I've told you this name multiple times, Tyler Linderbaum.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big center. He gives loads of QB time to move. He's top 5 in time to pressure allowed.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He will for sure boost the Raiders' O-line massively, in my opinion. Raiders signed him 3 years, 81 mil. And I think it is more than justified.
Honestly, I think that might be a bit of a steal.
Yeah.
Like some of the linemen get really underrated and underappreciated, but doing the dirty work like that, give it QB time, I think that's a steal.
Now, I do want to talk. Of course, you know me. I'll always bring my Rams into this. Jalen Watson.
Yep.
Rams signed him. He's a cornerback, which was one of the weaknesses for the Rams. 3 years, 51 mil, which I think is 17 average.
3 years, 51?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 17.
And you're going to like how the difference here. In 2024 with KC, 21 combined tackles, 11 assisted tackles, and 0 sacks.
Okay.
In 2025 with KC, 42 combined tackles, 22 assisted tackles, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions.
Doubled up his tackle numbers, added some sacks and interceptions on top.
Doubled basically everything.
Yeah.
So I am excited.
I would be too.
I don't know how a cornerback gets a sack, because that's a lot of running. Now, two, I wouldn't say minor, but ones that I don't find, for me, are as interesting as people call them. Chiefs are trading for Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Which is the QB in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyler Murray going to the Vikings.
I mean, it's two fairly well-known big names on the move, so I can see why people would take interest in it. But.
Yeah. For me, I don't feel it is that interesting as Jalen Watson, Trey Hendrickson, Nakobe Dean. Like, these guys are top guys that people were like, oh, where are they going? And, like, I feel like those two names weren't really... Like, we know they were moving. Mm-hmm. We knew they were probably going to a more stacked team. It is what it is. There's nothing.
The move was expected.
Yeah. So with that said, that's pretty much all I got for numbers for all my sports.
All right. Well, if that's the case, that will wrap up our analytical segment for this episode. So we'll send you guys off to a short break.
In 2010, Edwin Jackson pitching a no-hitter while walking 8 batters.
And we'd like to welcome you back. So now is our slightly more opinionated open mic segment. And I think Miggy's got something to say about good old Gudis.
How many games did Malkin get for hack chopping Darlene?
Wasn't it also 5?
It was 5.
It was 5, yeah.
And there's protection around that area. Like, he might have got him right where the collar is, where it stops. But chances are he got his shoulder first, and then it bounced.
Yeah.
Ratko Gudis, and for who haven't seen the hit, it was as intentional as it comes. You see, he is almost lunging towards Matthews. Now, before I put my opinion on Gudis and how the Maple Leafs reacted to this, Matthew has a MCL tear and a quad contusion. He is done for the season. This could be, and you stated this earlier too, a career-altering injury.
Well, that MCL tear is grade 3.
Now, on top of that,
that ligament is gone.
Yep. Now, the hit happened. Leafs player on the ice did nothing. Not a single duck was grabbed by the collar and bashed. Nothing happened. All you saw was the coaches looking at the tablets to see if it was a clean hit or not. The refs looking at the tablets to see if it was clean hit or not. Now, he got it 5 minutes in the game misconduct. He got pushed away. Your captain is on the ice and needs help getting off the ice, and you're going to do nothing? I hope, and like you know me, I'm not a Leafs fan. I hate the Leafs due to the fact that I'm a Habs. I do not wish ill on any player.
No.
Especially as much as, like, I talk crap about Matthews, he's your team captain. If Suzuki was to go down and I didn't see Slavkovsky grab the first opponent that he saw and start bashing him, I'd be yelling at the TV.
See, it's hockey, right? The expectation is that you're going to rough guys up, right? That is the baseline expectation.
Yeah.
Now, what really pisses me off, like you kind of mentioned, is your guy just went down.
Not just any guy, though.
Yeah.
Your captain.
Your captain.
Your goal scorer.
Is down, not getting up from a rather obviously dirty hit.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen guys start scuffles for much less.
I've seen guys get into scuffle for someone bashing their hockey stick lightly on a rookie shin.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, you see your teammate get hit, is down on the ice, not getting up. Your first instinct should be to go protect him.
Yeah.
Right? That goes for any sport. Right? If you're playing sports and you see your teammate get hit in a way he wasn't supposed to, or is getting targeted in a way he isn't supposed to, him or her, your first reaction should be to go to their side and defend them in any way.
Now, the Leafs are pushing for a longer suspension, and I don't blame them. He took Matthews out for the season, like I said, captain, top goal scorer. He's also the guy who took Crosby out.
Yeah, he's got a track record.
Yeah. At this point, I have to be on the Leafs side, which pains me, but as a guy who hates seeing players get hurt, trust me, Price. If he didn't get hurt, we'd have like 2 cups, but whatever. It was unnecessary. Matthew was not posing any threats, but I feel like it should be more than just 5 games. Now, on a good note, Leafs did win that game, which was their first win since pre-Olympics.
Like, I know we made fun of that and, like, great on them, but you lost your top guy.
Yeah, and you didn't really stick up for him anyway, other than being like, oh, we got 2 points, but we're way out of the wild card.
Like, I'm stuck in this weird mindset of I feel really freaking bad for them.
Yeah.
I'm really mad with how it happened and the intent, and I'm kind of ashamed for the Leafs players that didn't do anything.
Well, so what happens if the Leafs are in contention for the playoffs right now?
Oh, they're done.
Yeah, it's as bad as this is gonna sound, it's a good thing that they're not, cause they're out of the playoffs right now with how tight the Eastern is.
Yeah.
But if they were still a top 3 team, losing Matthew could be the difference between making the playoffs and not.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
I hope Matthews is okay. We won't see him till next year, and I don't even know if he will be back next year. I just don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be mid-season.
Well, here's my thing about the injury and the kind of injury it is too, because it's a grade 3 MCL tear and a quad contusion. That is pretty much all of your leg strength and motor function gone.
He's going to be in crutches or a wheelchair for a while.
Well, as much access as these guys have to the top of medicine and whatnot, and some of these guys recover fast.
Yeah.
Right? You see it in all sports. You know, ligament tears, Achilles tears, broken bones. They recover fast because they have access. It's just the fact of injuries of this severity, the player almost never comes back at 100%.
Yeah.
They're lucky if they come back above 80%.
Yeah. So
And
I hope, like I said, I hope Austin Matthews
Like, I hope he's all right. I hope
a
he'll
good
be all right.
recovery. I hope he comes back to what he was, because he is a good goal scorer. As much as we like to make fun of the Leafs, I do because I'm a Habs fan. At the end of the day, like, I never mean any ill towards any player.
Well, no, they're still human beings, right?
Yeah, I will be like, look, he wasn't there today or anything, but this was uncalled for, unnecessary. I am with the Leafs when it comes to pushing for a longer suspension. And for my little sister that will be listening to this, it's about the only time you'll hear me say this, so don't hold it against me.
The other thing is that my North American bias is going to show here real quick. Gudas, like you said, is the guy who took out Sidney Crosby at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And has now taken out Austin Matthews, who was captain of...
Yeah, the 2
UC,
captains.
right? 2 captains of the North American teams.
Yeah.
Now, I am not one to be quick to point fingers, especially of intent or targeting. But
Matthews is out long term now. Sidney Crosby, he still isn't back.
He's not back, but he's close to being back.
But he's been out weeks.
Yep.
And again, you're gonna have to forgive me. Like, my bias is gonna show here, but is there a conversation that should be had about almost the targeting of North American players?
See, here's the issue, and I told you this also. So when you get a suspension, you gotta forfeit some of your salary.
Well,
Right?
yes.
Gudis is close to $1 million in salaries forfeited from suspensions, dirty hits, hearings, all that. He's at I think 850,000.
Okay.
Which for me, you and Jay, we look at that as that's a lot of money. For him, it's okay, there's a.
Give that money to the regular folk.
This is
we could live lifetimes off of this.
20% of my salary I made this year. I can live.
Yeah.
So, oh no, I gotta let go of maid. So I have a big issue with Gudis right now. I think I'd be even more livid if it was against Montreal.
Well, yeah.
And I think the same with you with Vancouver.
Yeah.
Jay's still figuring out if the puck is black or orange. So
if it has rollers on the bottom of it or
not. Now, let's switch this conversation to a slightly more underdog tone.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday was a weird day. Yeah. The Jets beating the Avalanche 3-1.
See, if you told me that a year ago, I'd believe you. I still don't believe you right now, though.
Yeah. And on top of that, which is going to make you believe me even less, Rangers beat the Wilds 4-2.
Yes, do that.
So, even Jay's looking at me that's not...
That's not supposed to happen.
The Jets and the Rangers, if I'm not mistaken, the Jets right now are 27th and the Rangers are 29th. Are going up against number 1 and number 4, or number 6. I don't remember where the Wilds sit anymore.
Usually in forests, but...
Yeah.
The Rangers are 29th. The Jets are 27th. So you got your numbers right. The Wild are 5th.
Oh, so 4 or 6, yeah.
Average is out.
Yeah. But on paper, this should have been a whooping for the Jets and the Avalanche. And the Jets turned out with 2 points, and the Rangers turned out with 2 points. So...
I mean, as I said in the earlier episode, one of the earlier episodes, this year has been for the upsets.
Yeah.
Underdogs.
Yeah. So the only one in the top 3 in that Central Division that won was Dallas against Detroit, which helps Dallas keep that number 2 spot in the Central.
Well, the Central is... So, the Central you can kind of divide into first and second, third, fourth, and then everybody else. Because right now it goes Avs 97 points, Stars 94 points.
Well, they're on until tonight, they were on a 14-0 and 1 record.
Yeah, so they are hot. The Wild are sitting a little further behind at 88 points. So, you go Avs to Stars 3 points, Stars to Wild 6 points. The Mammoth, we're in fourth, are 12 points behind the Wild.
Yeah.
So the top 3 in that Central Division are pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but so it was an underdog story for Saturday for the Jets and the Rangers. And we'll see if some of the underdogs can maybe keep winning.
Overdogs.
I know that St. Louis, after the trade, went on a little 4-game winning spree after trading some key guys. So that was fun to see that, you trade your key guys, but your guys show up and still play. So other than that, I do have a hot take, but I do want to keep that for later.
You can let that hot take boil a bit. I do want to talk some basketball.
So March Madness teams got announced yesterday. Because of Miggy over here, I haven't had time to make my bracket.
But
So, I'll get to that.
yeah,
I will have to get to that. You guys might be witnessing the start of our first special episode because I would really like to share my thoughts on the March Madness bracket and which teams I think are going forward. So, standings right now for the NBA have kind of evened out. They've kind of stabilized for the last little bit. There were some teams that were getting really hot and really cold and a lot of flip-flopping. Philadelphia's dropped a lot.
yeah, they haven't been winning much lately.
A few, I think it was as early as recent as 2 weeks ago, they were top 4 in the East. They're currently sitting in 9th. They have
It's
dropped.
a must-win now. For
Yeah.
them. How are the
Shit.
Bulls doing?
Your hot take on the Bulls. The Bulls are currently 6 games out of a play-in spot. So, if the Charlotte Hornets lose the rest of their games and the Bulls win most of the rest of their games, you might be close. You might have a chance. It's not as unlikely as I expected or as I would like to have called it. So there's a chance. There's a
So you're
chance.
saying there's a chance.
I am saying there is a non-0% chance. Out west is still very, very heavily contested. It is OKC, San Antonio. San Antonio is slowly crawling closer to OKC right now. They're only 3.5 games
It
behind.
is scary.
When OKC went off to the start that they had, they were like 8 games above the next guy, and now they're only 3.5. It's
Yeah.
crazy. OKC is on an 8-game win streak though. Lakers, Houston, Denver Nuggets, Minnesota, all within a game and a half for that 4 through 6 seed. So teams are tight. Teams are close. Toronto, or my Raptors, are kind of in a must-win right now. They currently sit at 6th in the East, only half a game ahead of Miami, who are 7th. That is that play-in line. And your T-Wolves are a little safer. They're also in 6th, but they're 2 games ahead of Phoenix. So we will...
Still a must-win, though.
Still a must-win. I mean, the NBA is at the end of the season. We are 15 games.
So about the same as the
About the same.
NHL.
Oh yeah, both leagues. One thing I did want to talk about is the MVP race for this year.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
I really want to talk a bit about this because the MVP race is essentially Jokic, SGA, Doncic.
Okay, so before this podcast started, we had a little bit of a conversation, and I think we're all on board here. But I'll let you kind of explain how that conversation went.
So all 3 very great players, but the big thing that I hate that's happening is for the MVP race is that how much significance do we give to individual performance versus team success?
Yeah.
Because if it was just individual performance and individual numbers, Jokic, easy. I would call it right now.
Yeah.
He gets MVP. I think he actually is averaging a triple-double. I'd have to double-check. But even just in the last few weeks, it is every night. He is 20 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists, or some crazy crap like that. He is genuinely unstoppable. But Denver's been sliding recently. Denver, again, is sort of fighting for that 3rd through 6th spot. They're just all over it.
But now you go to SGA.
SGA, who, again, great player. Stats aren't quite what Jokic's is, but OKC's top of the league. So he's going to get that side of the argument.
Yeah. And it's the same, and I told you this, and you seem to slightly agree with me. I didn't hear Jay's input in it, if he wants to put the input on it now. It's kind of the same for Rookie of the Year.
For the NHL, yeah.
Yeah. Last year, as much as I love the fact that Hudson won, if Dustin Wolf made it into the playoffs, there was going to be a big fight between who was going to win.
Yeah.
Because if Dustin Wolf and the Calgarys made it to the playoffs, it would have been entirely, and I mean entirely, and I will bring this to my grave, on Dustin Wolf's back.
Yeah.
That guy in net was doing miracles
Oh,
for Calgary.
Everything.
They were leaving him out to dry. He was catching pucks there and there. Now, Hudson won it, and again, I was more than happy. He scored 66 points.
Mm.
He broke a record or tied a record for most assists by a rookie defenseman in the NHL. He deserved it. But like I said, it'd be more of a tightly contested award if Calgary made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm torn because I don't want awards to be purely subjective. Like I know I kind of mentioned earlier, purely objective. I mentioned earlier my stance on objective versus subjective and what it should apply to. I feel like awards should be a combination of raw numbers and raw statistics, but also have part of the eye test. Right? NBA, NHL, any sport, there are positive actions that players can take that don't show up on the box score.
Yep.
You know, they don't generate numbers. So, I do believe that these awards can't just be, okay, you just have the most numbers, here, have it.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the line is between you have the best numbers, but you're the best player on the best team.
60-40.
Yeah, like, right, like if you, but again, right, it depends on who you ask, right? 60-40 would be a good starting point, but at the same time, it's like, if you have the best player in the league, but their team doesn't make the playoffs, you know, are those actual stats, are they empty numbers? You know, like, how meaningful does it, like, where do we draw the line between meaningful numbers and empty scores?
I mean, I say 60-40, meaning that 60% individual performance should be considered for MVP and 40% team performance. Because, well, NBA teams are what? On court at the time, 5 people.
Yeah.
If you're the only one performing, yes, your numbers should count, but also, why can you not pull up your teammates a bit better?
That's true. The other thing is that I don't know if this is an NBA
because
only thing.
because sports are more of a team sport.
Well, yeah, they should be.
Exactly.
Especially these leagues.
Especially these ones, right? So it's not you versus 5 people. It's 5 versus 5.
Now, a slightly more controversial part of MVP races and just award races is the view of the voters. Now, I'm not sure if this is a problem in the NHL. You'll have to help me out here, Miggy. But the NBA, especially recently, has had this weird problem where if one player is doing too good, right? Like Jokic has like 3 MVPs or something. I don't remember if he won them in a row or if it was like really close together. But there's this almost perception of he can't win anymore. Because then that means he'd be too good, and then that would undermine all the old good players. What a load of crap.
It is a load of crap. I'll give you an example of league. Chovy right now.
Yeah.
He is bona fide the best player in the world right now. But people don't give him enough credit because Faker still plays.
Yeah, right? It happened to LeBron when he was playing, right? There was almost this stigma, this kind of imagination of, oh, you know, Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, they only had this many accolades, and this is who we're comparing him, like comparing these like top guys to, and it's like if the top guys nowadays are just winning everything, then we don't have a conversation or an argument. I'm just like, that's
the sport is different,
right. The sport, like, if a guy deserves the award above anybody else, freaking give it to him.
right?
Like there isn't a, oh, he has too many MVPs, oh, he has too many championships. Like, no. if a winner wins, give him the win.
This has been happening in at least league esports.
Yeah.
Up until the end of last year when K-Drill changed it all.
Yeah.
Where T1 won all the awards at the end of the year because they won the final championship.
Yeah.
While they were, performing the circus the entire year.
Sandbagging the whole year.
And like Genji wins the entire year, goes undefeated, 2 straight splits in a row.
Yeah.
Chokes it at 1 best of 5 and then just doesn't win an award.
Like, one of the reasons why I've kind of stopped watching LCS, especially as much as I used to, and especially as much as I want to, is that at the end of every year, the all
pros.
yeah, the all pro teams. It always annoys me how you can predict those with 99% accuracy because the 3 all pro teams is just
First, second, third.
Yeah, it's just the 3 best teams. There is no individual distinction, right? And that is a case of team success is just everything.
Last year, that changed for at least the LCK.
Yeah.
It was because the year before, the All Pros were KT, Genji, T1. Just first, second, third.
Yeah.
Right? Now, because of that, LCK got a lot of flack. Like, fans really pushed back by trolling them online, memeing. Like, whenever they're casting, they're posting stuff about it. Like, this is your LCK All Pro first team, just choking it out. And, like, after that, they changed it and they went player performance for All Pros in LCK.
Like
BDD was the best mid laner last year.
I'm really bad with names, especially league player names. But how many times have you and I watched a game and you out of the blue will say, "Oh, I feel bad for this player because the team's shit," but the only reason they're any bit competitive is because of him, right?
The miracle run of KT last year, they were in the World Finals, sheerly on the back of BDD.
Right.
Like, the other 4 players, I kid you not, are coughing babies against hydrogen bombs.
Right. And at that point, give BDD all of the awards because he's got the success and, he's got the individual performance. But the issue is that if you take that team, that team and that specific amount of success and put it just like in a regional stepladder or whatever, the whole team gets first team all pro, even though 4 of them shouldn't even have contracts.
Right.
So, going back to my main point about the MVP race is I don't like how unclear it is of you can be an amazing player and put up amazing numbers, but oh no, your team is in first place, you don't get any recognition. But you won the best team.
The most average score ever.
You're averaging 25 points, and the second guy on your team is averaging 24. You're not... And this, I'm not pointing out SG or anything, just like in a vacuum. Just like 25 points puts you at 30th in points per game in the league. But because you're the best, the best player by a little bit on the best team, we're gonna give you the award for best player in the league. I'm just like, no, it's not what it should be. Miggy, you look like you got something to say.
Here's the top 5 right now for most points in the NHL, which kind of ties it into the MVP.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't goalies. Goalies also tie into the MVP, but this year I don't think a goalie's going to win it.
Okay.
McDavid at 114.
Yep.
Edmonton's third in the Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
McKinnon at 109. They're first in the league. Kucherov at 106. They're second in the Atlantic. Draisaitl at 97. Third in the Pacific with McDavid. Macklin Celebrini at 95 points. While the Sharks are currently 6th in the Pacific, fighting for a wildcard spot in the West and are 1 point out of the wildcard spot. Macklin Celebrini has 95 points. His second closest teammate has 45.
Give this man a team.
He is one of the only 7 with a plus rating on that team of +7. He has 36 minutes of penalty, which is not awful. He's shooting at 15.4%. He's averaging a 21 time on ice. He's averaging 21 shifts a game. His face-off percentage is close to 50. Like, this man is putting this team on his back. And he doesn't have weapons like Kucherov does.
No.
McKinnon does. McDavid and Draisaitl do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, like, they're young. He has Tyler Toffoli, which is a veteran. Eklund's doing well. Will Smith is doing well. No, not the one that slapped Chris Rock.
Okay.
Might as well be.
Keep my actor's name out of your mouth.
The goalie situation is not bad, but it's not good. Like, Askarov started 40 games. He's 19 and 17 and 3. Nedeljkovic, 24 games, 13, 9 and 3. Boissois played 1 game, lost the 1. Mediocre goalie. His team, I don't want to say mediocre because there's so much potential, but like, your top player is 95 and then your second one is 45.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the thing of take Celebrini out of the equation.
The Sharks aren't even close.
No, they're behind Vancouver,
Yeah.
right?
But you take McKinnon out of the Avalanche,
They're still a top team.
they're still fighting for a playoff. You take Kucherov away from Tampa Bay, and they'd still be fighting. You can't take both.
No.
But you take either Connor McDavid or Draisaitl away from Edmonton, they'd be fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah. So, like, your best players in the league, your, like, top point getters, most of them, if they were to sit the rest of the year, their teams would, by and large, be fine.
Well, just look at Tampa. Kucherov was out for a little bit, and they were
Right.
still winning.
Right? But you look at Celebrini and the Sharks, you take him out, they're dust. They're nothing.
It becomes a way harder struggle to make
right?
the playoffs.
So you're looking at a top player and their on team and off team just sort of like differences, and you say, oh, Celebrini probably deserves, at least a lot of consideration for sort of an MVP award. But because he's putting up points on sort of a mediocrely bad team, he might just get overlooked.
And just to bring up even worse, he has 35 goals.
Mm.
The second closest is Sherwood, who came from Vancouver
Yep.
at 20. And then Will Smith at 19, Graf at 19, Toffoli at 18. Now if we go to assists, Celebrini at 60, Winberg at 30, Eklund at 29, Toffoli at 26, Will Smith at 26.
He's leading in goals, assists, points. I mean, he's doubled up the goal total and assist total of the next closest guys on his team.
Montreal has 2 defensemen right now at the 50-point mark.
So going back to my point about the MVP race is that OKC team is great from top to bottom. You take SGA out, they're maybe not a top 1 team, but they're fighting in the middle of the West. You take Jokic off of that Denver team,
It's a struggle.
they are out of the playoffs. I love Jamal Murray, I really do, but that team is not the Nuggets.
No.
So we'll have to see, but
So, which leads to my hot take.
I want to counter you afterwards too.
My hot take, and this is my personal opinion, and I know it's going to be a hot take because of it. Celebrini wins the MVP in the NHL.
Okay.
Maybe not the most points, but MVP.
You might have to cool me off after this one.
Oh, we're going Cajun.
I think the Avalanche get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs.
Oh, I totally agree.
Okay,
totally
we're on the same
agree.
page. I looking at the Western Conference seedings right now.
Not even them. They just lost 7-2 tonight.
Yeah. You have the Mammoth in 6th, Oilers in 7th, Kraken in 8th right now, which if the regular season ended right now. That'd be their first round matchup.
It would be 8 versus 1, yeah.
Yep. You have the Kings in 9th, and funny enough, the Sharks in 10th.
Yeah.
All 5 of those teams are better than what their points would suggest.
Yeah.
And I think the Avalanche don't come into the playoffs quite ready or quite as hot as they've been.
No, I'd have to completely agree with you. And if I get this right, which I'm kind of hoping, but I wasn't ready for you to bring this up. Avalanche, as of right now, are 6-4 in their last 10. But there was a point when they came back from the Olympics. They were 4-5-1. This is not the same Avalanche team that we saw in the beginning of the year where me and you were looking and seeing 10-0, 9-0-1, 9-1, 8-1-1 and being like, yep, there goes the season, you know. Do we just give them the cup? Now
Right?
we see teams like, okay, we have to adapt. Like, yes, there's major players, and yes, there's major plays they do, but we got to lock down Nate Dogg, Natchez, Makar, their goalies, keep them moving. Players are starting to figure out Avalanche, and they're starting to figure them out at a good time.
And the Avalanche they've been sitting too comfy. They
Yeah.
spent this whole year at the top. I don't think they're quite ready to make adjustments as fast as they need to.
We'll have to see.
Now, a team... So this isn't a hot take, but a team that has been really freaking hot the past couple months that I really want to point out, Los Angeles Clippers. They started the season 6-21.
And I think they just
They just got above 500. They are, I think it's 35-34 as of right now.
They're
Sorry,
scorching.
34-33.
They're
They
scorching.
are on fire. They might be able to make a March Madness Cinderella story type run if they keep this upward momentum going into the playoffs.
So you're thinking that they're going to squeeze in?
Well, the Clippers currently sit at the 8th seed in the Western Conference.
So they're in.
They're in the play-ins. So if the regular season ends today, they take part in that play-in tournament for the last 2.
Who would they be
spots.
up against?
So at 8th, they would be up against the 7th seed team, which is the Suns. So the winner of that game would get the 7th seed. The loser of that game would play the winner of the 9-10 game. And then the winner of that second game would get the 8th seed.
Okay.
So if the regular season ended today, the Clippers are still in the playoff picture.
Okay, so you're telling me that 5 and 8 play against each other.
No. So at the end of the regular season.
Yeah. Oh, 7 and 10.
Yeah, so seeds 1 through 6,
Yeah.
guaranteed playoff spots.
Yeah.
They are the 1 through 6 seed.
Yeah.
The 7th and 8th seed are non-guaranteed. What happens is the 7th through 10th seeds go through a mini elimination tournament
Yeah.
to basically win the right of the 7th and 8th
So
seed.
whoever
in the
wins
playoffs.
the 7 and 10th
So they actually do it differently.
Okay.
It's the 7 versus 8, 9 versus 10.
Okay.
So they're basically separated into an upper and a lower bracket.
Okay.
So what happens is the 7th and 8th seed play for the 7th seed spot.
Okay.
The winner of that game gets the 7th seed spot. The loser of that game isn't eliminated yet.
Because they get to play the winner of the 9 and 10.
The loser of the 9-10, gone, eliminated, done. Winner of the 9-10 then plays the loser of the 7-8 for the right to the 8th seed.
Okay.
So then the winner of that second game gets the 8th seed, loser of that second game, gone. They basically get the 9th seed and then they're eliminated.
Okay.
So it's basically just a way for teams that are sort of sitting here at the middle that are like really close to kind of have an extra chance of, oh, you instead of being like your 9th seed, you are 1 game out of the playoffs, but you're on a hot streak
if you had 2 more games, you would have gotten it, right? It's to kind of like avoid something like that.
Okay.
So the Clippers are currently 8th. They are 1 game above 500. I think they keep this momentum up and make a deep playoff run. How deep? I don't know. The Western Conference is stacked. You have the Thunder, the Spurs, Lakers, Rockets, Nuggets, Wolves. Timberwolves, right? I think the Clippers will surprise some people and might be able to eke out an upset or 2 in the first couple rounds of the playoffs. Assuming now they make it, of course. But with how they're playing,
Who knows?
Heck, I put in a bid to see them make it to the Western Conference Finals, make it to the semis.
Yeah.
I
think with that though.
Yeah. Well. Before I hand it off to Jay, he's been eyeing me up and down.
Oh man, I can see the fumes from his hair just going.
If it was any warmer, I don't think we'd see the steam. But with how chilly it is, I can see it clear.
Welcome
as
to Canada.
Day. I do want to go over some games to watch, or some games that I want to watch this coming week. So today is Monday. A game that I would have liked to have watched was Lakers versus Houston. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think that game just ended. Lakers get the victory, 100-92. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I will be looking forward to the Phoenix, Minnesota game. They are currently neck and neck in the Western Conference seedings. They are 6th and 7th. Right on that play-in line. Wednesday, Lakers versus Houston, a rematch from tonight. Thursday, Phoenix versus San Antonio. So a little bit different, a little bit of space in the standings, but Western Conference bout. Denver versus Toronto. Toronto just came off a victory against the East Best Detroit Pistons. So I think
is that on Friday?
Yeah, on Friday, Toronto versus Denver. So I think if they can carry that momentum through the week, I think we see Denver slip another game.
Yeah.
Saturday is not much. There are a few games, nothing big. Sunday, both of our teams play. Toronto plays Phoenix, who they beat a few days ago, so kind of a rematch. Minnesota gets to play Boston.
Shipping out to Boston.
Oh, yeah. And this coming Monday, Lakers versus Detroit and Spurs versus the Miami Heat. Miami Heat are on the up and up, and they're playing very good. They're 8 games above 500, I think. Let me just double check that. Yes, they're 38-30. They are 7th in the Eastern Conference. They are looking to overtake the Toronto Raptors for that 6th seed and get out of the play-ins. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'll make it quick for Jay because he is ready. Tuesday, San Jose plays against Edmonton, which is tomorrow. San Jose needs this win to get into the wild card. Edmonton needs this win to stay in the top 3 of the weakest division. Dallas versus Colorado on Wednesday. Do I need to say more? Top 3 teams in the league. If Dallas wins, they get even closer to Colorado. I didn't think that was possible in the beginning of the year. Thursday, Montreal versus Detroit. The reason why this is so important, Montreal is 3rd, Detroit is 4th. They are tied in points, but Detroit has 2 games played more than Montreal does. Saturday, Minnesota versus Dallas. Again, top 3 teams. Dallas needs to keep winning to maybe potentially get to that Colorado, so that Colorado and Minnesota meet each other in the first round. And then Sunday, LA versus Utah. LA is 3rd in the... Or not, they're not 3rd, they are 4th in the Pacific. Versus Utah being 4th in...
The Kings?
Yes.
They are 5th in the Pacific.
5th, and Utah's 4th, I'm guessing.
Utah is 4th in the Central. No? Yes? Now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those two
My
are...
geography is
Yeah.
not there today.
Yeah, the divisions are a little wanky. Those 2 teams are fighting for wild card spots.
Yeah.
So that'll be very interesting to watch how they do. Now, for the PWHL, there's only really one game that I see that is important, and that is the New York versus Vancouver. New York needs to keep winning. Any slip-up could give the chance to the Charge to maybe make a late comeback into the playoffs. And any games containing the top 3 teams are important for placement.
Yeah.
Those 3 teams are basically almost, I don't want to say it, but they're basically guaranteed a playoff spot. Now they are just fighting to see who gets the number 4th guy.
Yeah.
So other than that is the games to watch. I will be trying to watch all of these. We are definitely going to have to start thinking of buying a second TV and hooking that up so that we can watch hockey and basketball, because a lot of these games intertwine each other. But I feel like we'll figure it out eventually.
Oh, yeah.
But I think without further ado...
You're forgetting the best part, Russian Blades.
Well, that's after his segment. Oh. I think he's been waiting patiently enough.
Okay, fine. We can give him the mic for now. All right, Jay, don't burn anything while you're over there.
What I'm gonna be burning are people's ears, because what the fuck happened at First Stand in League of Legends? Well, first of all, congratulations to the LPL. Their loss streak finally ended against the LCK. They won against BFX. I'm pretty sure they are thanking God that Hanwha Life or T1 didn't make it. Now, by this loss streak, right? I mean, this is the 9th series between the LPL and the LCK since 2024 World Finals. So it's been 2 years. They were on an 8-match loss streak against the against the LCK.
Like 8 series lost streak?
8 series.
8 series lost streak.
Now, to be fair to them, 5 of those series were against T1. Notorious LPL killers. But it ended today with BLG beating BFX 3-2. BFX did take them for a walk though, because BLG took game 1 pretty handedly, and then BFX slapped back with game 2 and 3. Game 4 and 5, both of them were BFX was draft capped.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, what do you mean you're in game 5 you're drafting Kennen, Lee Sin, Zoe with Jin ADC?
Okay, even I know that's crazy.
Well, I mean, that's triple dive with an ADC who just wants protection.
That's triple that. Like, first of all, you're playing Kennen, Zoe, Lee Sin, Rakan. Zoe and Jin, they both want to pick someone off and then fight with a numbers advantage. Kennen, Lee Sin, Rakan want a team fight. Like, your draft is conflicted with itself. Alright. Now, on the second series of First Hand, G2 versus TSW. Now, this was supposed to be a 3-0, and it was a 3-0.
But
I felt like it happened the other way around. The entire time. The expected result was G2 3-0 TSW.
yeah.
The end result was G2 3-0 TSW. But I feel like G2 lost that match.
So are you saying like they got lucky and won?
The enemy team just did not know how to close the game.
Oh, so you're saying they caught
should
with
have
their
lost.
tails between
Yeah.
their legs
Yeah.
and somehow found a way to win.
Their pants were down, they were tripping over themselves, and somehow cartwheeled across the finish line. They won, but they lost in spirit. Is what I'm getting from
Yeah,
this.
the game score says they won. The match score, the records say they won. But whoever watched that match knows that they lost their reputation.
That's interesting.
I mean, do you think it's a sign of Genji slipping up? Do you think they make it far in the tournament?
Well, Genji hasn't played yet.
Oh.
This is G2.
Oh, sorry. G2. Yes. I've been saying the wrong thing. I've been hearing the wrong thing.
Uh-huh.
That's okay. You're the oldest.
Old man's losing his earring.
Oh.
Listen here, you young
Says the
little
wind that
one-person
goes out of bed
goose.
real early.
All right.
You're past your bedtime.
I still got 15 minutes.
Well, I better wrap it up then. But I can't.
No,
really
the
excited.
only
I'm
thing
really
we're wrapping up
excited
is him
for
in a
it.
blanket.
I'm really
No.
excited for his F1 rant coming up.
Now, in other league news, Witchcraft, the LR Remnant clone,
Oh, I thought you were saying that some team pulled Witchcraft and won a series.
well, they lost to BAM, and then they lost to G2 Nord. So they are out of the EMEA Masters.
Okay.
Now, this is coming from a team that won everything last year. And I mean everything.
Okay.
They won the first split, they won the international. They won the second split, they won the international. They won the third split, they lost the international.
Okay, so as everything could be.
Yeah. Now, the only thing that changed was their top laner and their head coach.
Ah, there we go.
The head coach, after the drama of last week for Prio, looked at the clip and admitted that the entirety of that last year was just a dick measuring contest between the ADC and the jungler.
Like internal competition dick measuring?
Essentially, Velia would like to play around mid lane as their hardest carry and the best player is in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Crowny, being an ADC main, wants him to play towards his lane. Baus is just chilling in the top lane,
Bowsy's vibing.
right? Now, with the new top laner, Whipple comes into the consideration. Whipple wants Velia to play towards top side. Crowny wants Velia to play towards bot side. And Velia wants to play towards mid lane. Brother is getting stretched in every direction.
I mean, the moment you say Bwippo's name, that feels like a cuss word.
This guy's inting, no?
As a jungle main, I would never want him as a top laner. I cannot imagine the mental strain of trying to clear like a red buff or a blue buff, or just trying to finish your full clear, and all you hear is gank me, gank me, gank me, get over here. Give me Prio!
Right? So that happened, that entire fiasco. I feel like that team is not gonna last.
Oh, goodness no. Bowsy brought the good vibes, and just, for lack of a better word...
He was the best weak side player.
Yeah, no, like, he was great weak side, he was great when left low, and he was kind of the emotional punching bag?
Yeah, because like,
Right?
at the end of the day, Bausy inted.
Yeah, right, like... I mean, props to him. That is not an easy role to do as any human being.
But then there were games where he just goes solo carry 1v5.
Yeah, no. Like, he knew his role. He knew that he was just the glue, foundation, anchor, whatever you want to call it.
And Kadril helped with that because he was also the punching bag. Sally cancelled it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he was also the punching bag alongside Baus. So that helped. But now Kadril is gone, Bausy's gone, and Velia has become the punching bag. And Velia does not take kindly to that.
Well, yeah, you have Whippo, Crowny. Is Reckless still there?
Reckless is still there, but again, Reckless does not do confrontations great. So he just goes, all right, this is not getting anywhere. Bye.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, he big personality, but just isn't willing to clash. So it's just as bad half the time. Big personality, Whippo.
Wants to clash.
PR disaster. And Crowny, big personality.
And a PR disaster.
PR disaster. And an ADC main. And Velia, pretty big personality and fairly prideful, as most junglers are, being forced into I have to babysit everybody. Yeah, no, that team is going to self-destruct.
Right? Now, moving away from league, here comes the seed.
Nick, you hope me. I'm scared.
F1. FIA, kindly shove a horse cock up your ass.
For educational purpose, I guess.
7 out of your 20 racers did not finish the game. They did not finish the race. 4 of them didn't even get off of the starting line. With an 85-15 split, things were going great. With a 50-50, Now, the reason for my frustrations.
Frustrations? There has to be a stronger word in the English dictionary for that. I hope that even for the people in the back, you don't repeat what you just said. Frustrations?
The reason for my misgivings
Sure, go with that.
with the F1 board right now.
His ill intents.
He's
Third and fourth place disqualified because their cars were light. Sixth place also disqualified because of the same reason. Both of the McLarens had electrical power unit issues, so they didn't even start. Max Verstappen lost power in P6 on the 32nd lap, so he had to retire. This man took the Red Bull shitbox, and it is a proper shitbox, from P12 to P6. Now, if he had been able to complete that race at that position, he would have had podium.
I'm baffled.
Alonso had to retire because Honda's power unit that they had delivered to Aston Martin was vibrating so much that he lost feelings in his hands and feet by lap 21 at the risk of permanent nerve damage.
So the new cars are slower, smaller, less entertaining just at baseline.
Mm-hmm.
They are also taking off the drivers and are more dangerous. And for what?
For the turtles.
Can we keep electric vehicles to civilian vehicles? And just, the everyday usage where most of the gas is... I know that gas is super expensive for F1 cars. I get it. However, there's only so many cars going for so long. Keep the electricity to the regular folk.
Or at least, make sure that all the fine-tuning is done before you even suggest it.
Yeah. Y'all have the money. You have the influence. You have the people. What the heck?
You're at a point where, you're doing these races, and you have these multi-millionaire fucking companies. Why are we trying to push electric cars when they obviously don't work to the full potential?
Why is nearly half of your racers not finishing the race?
That's another problem.
F1 from the beginning has been 20 drivers, 2 drivers per team.
Yeah.
Now, only the top 10 get points towards the championship. The bottom 10, it's a skill issue.
Yeah.
But if 7 out of the 10 bottom 10 are just not finishing the race, are they truly the bottom 10?
Of those 7, you have at least 2 or 3
championship contenders.
Yeah, would have at least been top 10. Would have been podium.
Lando Norris, Alonso,
Verstappen.
Verstappen.
Right? It's not... These are not no-names.
Piastri.
These are not no-names being eliminated due to,
skill issues,
new
track
teams.
issues.
New team, skill issue,
No.
or bad team principles.
Your best drivers, your money makers, are having to cut their race short because you made a dumb, ill-advised financial car decision.
Like, the only two teams that can actually compete right here are Mercedes and Ferrari. And they're holding top 4 positions, same as the Australian GP. The thing is, both of the Ferraris got DQ'd.
And I mean, it just goes back to the fundamental issue of if half of your field is disqualified, something's wrong.
Right?
Right? If you go to any other, competition, like diving or skiing or any crap like that, right? If half your field is disqualified, something's wrong.
For you people listening at home, I don't think you realize how red Chris is right now. You know that shrimp from Shark Tale?
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
about that red.
And when I say the 50-50 power split is bad, the drivers are having to upshift out of corners to keep the electrical power system charging, meaning they're cornering slow. The overtakes in the corners are impossible. And that was the main focal point of F1, fighting in the corners. And in the straights, a lot of the cars were the same.
I'm thinking that these cars won't stay. They won't stick.
Well, one of the drivers, who was it? It was Leclerc.
Yeah.
He described the new overtake mode as feeling like a mushroom during Mario Kart.
Yeah.
F1, the pinnacle of racing,
Has been reduced
to
a video
Mario
game.
Kart.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is not going to stick. I feel like some of the racers are probably going to be like, I'm done until you bring the other
Exactly.
cars back.
Exactly. Like,
The racers already have a Stroll to deal with on the track.
hold on, Stroll, don't get me started on that.
Please give them something more.
Yeah.
They already have an Ocon. They already have a Stroll.
I'm gonna need to take a stroll in the park with him. But no, seriously, this season isn't going to end with a final race. It is going to end because too many of the drivers are gonna quit.
Well, Verstappen has a clause in his contract. If Red Bull's performance falls below a certain threshold, he can just walk away.
He's rich. He can just walk away anyways.
Anyways, yeah. So, if you have nothing to add on that, Jay.
One final thing to cool off. Cricket. This is going to make Chris a bit happy. South Africa won versus New Zealand. As you can hear. South Africa won versus New Zealand in quite a spanking.
They stop them.
In a very nonchalant kind of way.
Uh-huh. Under 100 all out during the first bat.
Yeah.
So the target was sub 100 in 20 overs. Yeah, quite a spanking. Now, the rematch is happening tonight, Monday night.
It's not gonna be a rematch. It's ass spanking part 2.
And I'll hand this off to Miguel for the home sports.
I'm going to cover the home sports because Chris is cooling off a little bit right now. The Blades went against the bottom of the league, Swift Current. We came out of there with a overtime loss and a victory. So that was pretty good for the standings, of course. This week on Wednesday, Brandon is coming to Saskatoon. We are also playing Prince Albert twice to close off the regular season. Once on Friday at their home turf, and then right after that game on Saturday, we'll be coming back to Saskatoon to finish off the season. I am hoping for a deep playoff run, as I think all three of us are. We will definitely try to find a time to go to a game. And so go Blades go. The Rush. Now the Rush, with a 10-9 victory against the San Diego, clinched a playoff spot.
Let's fucking go!
Which means we're going to get Blades playoff as well as Rush playoffs. Wednesday we play against Toronto Rock. So it would be fun to have another victory. I think we are at Toronto, but I could be wrong. And the standings did change. Rush still at the top, but Colorado is now third. Vancouver overtook Colorado. And once again, every win now for those bottom teams is kind of a win to not play the Rush. So we'll have to see how it goes. The Rush are doing fantastic right now. They're 11-3. So yeah, with 4 games left after this week, we'll have to see how it goes. And then once playoff goes, we'll make a bracket, see how it goes, and hopefully another deep run. So other than that, Jay, you got something to say?
Nope.
Chris?
All I'm going to say is that if F1's going to go 50-50, they might as well go all in and go 100% electric and make street legal, civilian legal F1 cars.
Formula E. It exists already.
And the mic will be turning off.